Okay, I've left it till really late, very late guys, but I've got one Planet X object. I had a plane last time, and yes, I do check these things out and discern the difference. If they are shaped as they are, and they are heading directly towards me, there is an airport. But I've had some people ringing up, sending me direct messages. Okay, which are worse than comments. I've had some direct messages down the authenticity of a lot of the objects. Yeah, I know the difference between an object. See, there's a spotter plane. Oh, that's a plane that's just going into the tree line now. Why would they have the spotter planes up and searching around to look for these objects if they were planes? If they were planes, why would they head straight down into the ground? You know, if they were airplanes. Like, look at how high this thing is. You can see it glowing. There's a bit of a tower cloud under the ground. Okay, it's 27,000 feet high. Okay, if that was a plane heading straight down, I can assure you it would be doing a much greater speed than it is doing now. Okay, the reason it's doing this speed is because its gravity is different to our gravity. See, because the planet blew up that it was on, it had hardly any gravity, as Dr. Claudia Albus has pointed out. That's why the Planet X objects can be steered away from, say, a city of 5 million. Sorry, I got a tooth out today. It was hard work, and it was really terrible. But anyway, this is a city of 5 million. Right, the people don't want these objects falling into a city of 5 million people. So, naturally, they steer them away. Where's the less area? They can't steer them anywhere on the coast. One that's in my library, my collection, one of the very first objects I filmed, I called it the Dave Dobbs object. It overflew me at my sunset spot, Lions Lookout. Now, it flew straight over my head. It goes for about 10 minutes, and I filmed it, and you know where it ended up going? It ended up going over the water line. They had this thing flying. It must have been going to land in the city of Sydney. So somehow they put a laser on them or something, and they steered this thing. You know, it's titled Dave Dobbs Object or something over Sydney or something, but I'm not sure if you have to subscribe to check it out, or if you could just go back and check it out. It's had 500 and odd views. I filmed this thing for 10 minutes and for roughly 120 kilometers or something, so it disappeared over a cloud bank. I know the difference between planes that are supposed to be there and things that aren't. Now this thing is like it's getting steered away from us because it's getting so hard to pick up. I can see it with my eye. You can see it on the camera now. It is just to the left of the tree. Yeah, so I don't know guys, it's always after sunset. Okay, I've never picked up one of these objects, or that object I'm talking about with the 500 odd views. That object was moving. Now it had the V shape of these objects. Shit, I can't change setting now, I've already started. It had the same taper as one of these objects, but it flew the city. It overflew the city of Sydney, and it wasn't going so fast, but it passed the southern shore and was headed out over a cloud bank out to sea. So if it was under the control of humans, you can sure as hell bet your bottom dollar that they didn't want it to land in the city, and they were making it go over the ocean to dump out at the sea, like over the land past, and that was before they can use their, you know, the illusionary hardware that they got to shroud the sky with their little mysterious colours and hide things from everybody, and use their objects, hiding of object power they have by pointing lasers and such at things. We all know about the little techniques that they have and that they actually administer for illusionary purposes. See, these objects here that I'm filming, they're getting put out at the Blue Mountains of Sydney, okay? It's like 100 kilometres from the shore. Where I am now is about 33 kilometres from the ocean. This thing's a good 70, 80 kilometres from me. So there is nothing but one train line that goes up there and two roads that go over the mountains. And that is where they're getting dumped, in low population areas of the Blue Mountains. And always they have the spotter planes, the planes out that must be in conjunction with the people, like spotting them to make them go. Someone said to me there were planes travelling at low speed or something like that. Why would a plane travel straight down to the ground and to kill everybody on board? You know, because that's what these objects I've filmed do. They don't go over some imaginary curve that a lot of people insist isn't there on the horizon line. They go straight into the earth. I have at least half a dozen times I've caught these objects and posted them, uploaded them. This one's more or less gone now, because I'll just quickly come back and I'll show you this. I can't see any others. Look, that's the north, okay? That's the north. That's how much light we have left. It's beautiful, isn't it? That's the east, which is coming up black, okay? All that's coming up is a street light. That is the east. Okay, that's a street light directly across the road from my house. That is straight up. Okay, that is where the sun has just set. Oh, well, the sun has just set down there in front of the tree, but that's just a bit, that's southwest down there. And yeah, that's north. It's purpley red, we can barely see it. Actually, the camera is making it a touch more redder than it is, but that direction is north. So the objects, like I said, they can't use their techniques at hiding them. They're obfuscation techniques, and their blue beams and their this is and their that. Maybe in the States they can do it, but they can't do it on a meteorite, of course, like that flies into the atmosphere. And they can't do it. There's those, like there's a half-hour period at dawn before the sun rises. That's when I caught the first object they were flying. And then there's the period at dusk for about half hour at dusk, just as the sun's setting and after the sun's setting, when you can catch these objects. I don't know why it is that I can catch them, but I can assure you I see the spotter planes all the time. That's why I know they're around. And I do know the difference between a contrail of an aeroplane. I've had a channel for a couple of years. And I've had this camera for 12 months nearly, and I do know the difference between a contrail, a 737-400 or something, or an Airbus contrail and a Planet X object, which, like I said, they must fall everywhere, because if they fall here, there's nothing special about here. I'm just in an outer suburb of a city of 5 million people. So if they fall here, mate, they're falling at towns near you. You've just got to get out there in the morning, in the dusk and the dawn at the right time. And I know it's hard with the chemtrails. We don't get as much chemtrails as the Northern Hemisphere does, and maybe because it's the Southern Hemisphere they fall here more. But anyway, so it gives you another look at the lovely north. Sorry about the wires. Need electricity. It's the only reason why we get it. Anyhow, alright, I've said my piece. I'll leave it at that. That object's probably hit the earth by now, or hit the mountains up there. But anyway, praise the Lord. Have a good evening.